This is the AFCON of all AFCONs. All the underdog shocks. Win for South Africa. Win for Bafana Bafana. Win for all Africa. Jabulile, rejoice. Wow. Can you believe it? Morocco 0, South Africa 2. What a week for Bafana Bafana. Not only have they taken Israel to the International Court of Justice and put them on trial for genocide, which we applaud them for that. They've dumped out Morocco, not just any old Morocco, the 4th best team in the world, or so I am told. That's right, Morocco are out in the last 16 stage. It will be 50 years and counting. If you're Moroccan, you've obviously not seen an AFCON win since 1976, and the 50 years will rumble on to when they host the next edition. If you want to know what Morocco winning AFCON looks like, then look no further than Google Images. Hopefully they will have some colour imagery from 1976. Wow, the 4th best team in the world, outplayed by Hugo Bruce and Bafana Bafana. Lots to talk about from this game, but what can I say? Winning trophies isn't for everyone. But what will Walid Regragui make of this? He had his touchline ban appealed and won the appeal, so he got to be on the touchline again for this game. I bet he wished he was still upstairs because he can't make any excuse about not being on the touchline this time. Fair play to Regragui. He wanted to see his team get humbled up close and personal from his technical area. But maybe Morocco will see this as a positive. And AFCON 2023 last 16 will look lovely in the trophy cabinet next to the World Cup 2022 4th place trophy, which currently sits there alongside the AFCON from 1976. What a performance from South Africa. Why are we not talking about them enough? I did not give South Africa the respect they deserved. I did say they beat Morocco in the qualification. They've gone and done it again in San Pedro, the stadium where Morocco played a friendly in before the cup had even begun. What a win. They won 2-0. They should have had a penalty. They didn't win by luck. It was a Hugo Bruce masterclass. The inquest will begin into Walid Regragui. Where did it go wrong? Well, of course, he lost Ziyech and Boufal to injury. And if the future of Morocco is going to be Amin Adli and Ait-Nouri, it doesn't look too bright after tonight. And after all that hype, they were relying on Ayoub El Kaabi to nod one in. It's like Algeria putting Slimani on these in an equaliser. Wow. Last 16, North Africa bows out. It will be a sub-Saharan team winning this AFCON. All 8 teams in the quarterfinals were not in the quarterfinals of the last AFCON. There are 8 different nations in this tournament that have made the quarterfinals. What a wide open competition. It's why we love it. Look, you can argue that it's going to be boring. That's no disrespect. The big teams are out. Some neutral fans will say it's boring, maybe some non-African fans. But what about if you're from one of these 8 nations, or if you're loving the underdog story? One of these 8 teams could win the AFCON. Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Angola, Guinea, DR Congo, South Africa, Cape Verde and Mali. One of those is going to be champions of Africa. Of course, I don't think Mali have ever won it. Cape Verde have certainly never won it. Angola have certainly never won it. We could have a new star on top of someone's badge. Let's give South Africa credit and talk about that game, because in the first half, wow, we've seen Ait-Nouri and Ben Taleb given pens for kicking out. It wasn't even checked. And we thought the game was stinking the place up when the penalty shout from Mazraoui wasn't checked. But 0-0 nonetheless at half-time, and Morocco were dominating possession and shots, but even game. And second half, is the offside? Evidence. Where was the evidence on the evidence goal? People are saying that one of the Morocco players is just playing evidence on. I think it's very tight, and I can't lie. When they said they were checking the goal, I genuinely thought that Morocco had been robbed. I genuinely thought the guy was offside. So if he is on, they're saying he's on. Who am I to argue? But I thought he was off. But Evidence, who I think's had a good tournament, but perhaps not had the goals to represent the good tournament, got them off to the start. And I was thinking, okay, so in what minute will Morocco get their pen? And I thought it was going to be when Ait-Nouri went down. That wasn't given. And for what it's worth, I would have given both. I would have given the one in the first half for the kick out, and I would have given the one on Ait-Nouri. But as it turned out, neither were given. But they got their pen in the end. It was a clear handball. There's no doubt about it. I don't know how the referee from Sudan, who had a good game, but he should have seen it. Inahi going up to him and pushing him was disgusting. I don't know how he didn't get booked. No issues as a pen. It's a handball. He essentially blocked the goal. And if anything, lucky not to be sent off. He got a yellow. We saw Hakimi in the World Cup chip it down the middle. He seemed to go down the middle again. He hit the crossbar and the ball landed in Wahran. And Morocco just absolutely panics. They got the plus 10 minutes. They deserved plus 10 minutes. There was a lot of stoppages in that game. Amrabat fouls someone to stop a goal. Ends up being a straight red. And they end up scoring a goal from the free kick from McKenna. It's 2-0. Morocco aren't coming back 2-0 down with 10 men. Ugly scenes again at full time. They cannot handle a loss. Wow. Can't believe it. They fourth best team in the world can't get in the last 8 in Africa. What does it mean though overall? So North Africa failed to have a team. Morocco got as far as Mauritania. Algeria, Tunisia and Egypt played 10-1 none. We can't play in Sub-Saharan Africa. All the North African teams will look to the AFCON in Morocco as an opportunity to put that right. And hopefully, well I say hopefully as a North African, that's where the Sub-Saharan African nations will struggle. But yeah, someone sent me an email the other day saying to cover Morocco more on my channel. Well, I hope I did for you there. And yeah, so what happens here? I don't think Morocco part ways with Regragui. I think Lecture likes having Regragui as the coach. He will certainly be the man to lead them to the next World Cup. I'm sure of it. I wouldn't sack him. They've got a good young crop of players coming through there, but too much reliance on some players. Amrabat, of course, will now be suspended for future qualification games. But what a moment for Bafana Bafana. And can this team, mainly made of Mamelodi Sundowns players and Percy Tau and Evidence, I think plays for the Pirates. What a side. South Africa have kept, is that 3 clean sheets on the bounce, I want to say? They lost the first game, now they find themselves in the quarter-final stage. But should we have known the signs of Morocco's downfall when Congo outclassed them? And again, and this penalty, ironically, was the reason Morocco ended up winning. So we'll cover this last day closer to the time, but it's anyone's game now. It's anyone's game. There's no point predicting it. It's anyone's game. You give Ivory Coast a bit of a push in front because they're at home, naturally. You'd think Nigeria of the quality of player. And then the other 6 will be looking to try and win it. And what a moment. South Africa, Cape Verde, one of those sides will be an AFCON semi-finalist. Absolutely extraordinary. Could say the same for Congo and Guinea and Nigeria, Angola and Ivory Coast and Mali. Are we heading for the Cote d'Ivoire-Nigeria final, which was literally the group stage game, which Nigeria won? A bit like in 2019 when Senegal and Algeria played each other twice in the competition. Or are we going to end up with like Angola playing against Mali, just like they did in the opener 14 years ago. What a moment. I want to extend my full congratulations to Dr. Patrice, the president of CAF and his South Africa nation for beating the 4th best team in the world. What a moment for Bafana Bafana. And I'm sure they'll be strong favourites to beat the side Cape Verde in the next round. But their team looked really well organised. I think the keeper, Ronwen Williams, and the back 4 all play for the same club. That cohesion was shown tonight. And with a player like Percy Tau, who's played in England before, you've always got a threat up top, and he didn't even get on the score sheet today. So what a moment for Bafana Bafana. What a week it's been for them. They've sued Israel, and now they've beaten the best side in Africa. What a tournament, and I'll see you next time.